Here we go, guys. 17 weeks, NFL weeks in the books, and we are about to endure playoff football. I'm excited. You're excited. Everyone's excited. I'm especially excited, actually. Tennessee's in the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. One of 12 teams left. It's been a long time coming, and everything's just icing on the cake now. I made a preseason prediction that Tennessee would win the division. I was incorrect on that. Congrats to the Jacksonville Jaguars for winning the division. But we swept y'all asses. But I was right in Tennessee making the playoffs this year. Now, before I get to my picks, I want to address one thing, and that is that I believe Mike Mularkey should remain the head coach of this team. But Robiskie, I think, needs to go. That's the first order of business. Second order of business is now that the season's over and I've seen what I need to see, I attribute the struggles on offense this season to Terry Robiskie, Mularkey's style of offense. We had no turnover from roster to roster, year to year, 2016 to 2017. The fact that we were so successful on offense last year and then so unsuccessful on offense this year with the same players, same O-line, same QB, same running backs, essentially the same receivers. We upgraded in that department, but still, same tight end. At that point, it becomes a coaching issue. And that's what happened with Tennessee this year. That's what happened with Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay. That's what happened with Derek Carr in Oakland. You see coaches that see what works one season, and they decide to carry that exact same game plan over for next season, and they don't expect that teams can learn and pick up on what they're doing in the offseason. They can't surprise teams anymore. That's why you see Bill Belichick, Mike McCarthy, Ron Rivera. That's why you see coaches like this successful year in and year out, because they readjust their offense every single year. Tennessee, Tampa, Oakland didn't do that. Tennessee is fortunate enough to have gotten away with it to still be able to make the playoffs this year, which I think is a testament to how good this team is. Last season this team went 9-7, and Mariota threw 26 touchdown passes and had 9 interceptions. This season they go 9-7. Mariota does statistically a lot worse. 13 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. The fact that Tennessee still made the playoffs should honestly say a lot about this team. If they could play at their full potential, sky's the limit. And we got to get rid of Terry Robiskie. We need a play caller that can put Mariota in comfortable situations and spread them out. Enough of this one wide receiver, two wide receiver stuff. Spread them out. Let Mariota read the field and throw the ball. That's what he's best at. The interior linemen need to be addressed. Tennessee is one of the worst teams in the NFL this year at running up the middle. Yards before contact is terrible when you're running up the middle. That's an interior line, offensive line issue that needs to be addressed. That's why Tennessee has moderate success running on the outside, because bookend tackles Jack Conklin, Taylor Lewan, two of the best at what they do. Interior line is the weak spot. Aside from Ben Jones, I like Ben Jones. I think he is solid, but either Quentin Spain or Josh Klein, they need to either step it up or we got to upgrade that position. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to get to wildcard predictions. We'll start with my Tennessee Titans traveling to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium. And look, the Chiefs are hot right now. They've won 4 straight games after going 1-5 or 1-6 in the middle of the season. But I'm not scared of this team. I know they're entering hot. I'm just not scared of them. Not like last year. I was more afraid of this team last year than I am this year going into the playoffs. And I'll tell you why. I know the offense of Kansas City has looked a lot better, but there's one statistic that just stares at me when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs. If you take Week 17 out of the equation, the Chiefs are 8-1 when Kareem Hunt runs for 80 or more yards. 1-5 when Kareem Hunt fails to rush for 80 or more yards. That's pretty simple right there. That's a pretty simple game plan to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. Just contain Kareem Hunt. And guess what? Tennessee is the 4th best rushing defense in the league. They have only allowed one running back all season long to rush for more than 80 yards. And this was Todd Gurley in Week 16, a game that we barely lost, ladies and gentlemen. So, matchup favor, Tennessee. That alone should keep this game close. Next statistic, in 12 of Kansas City's 16 games, they allowed the opposing team to collectively rush for over 100 yards. So that means in 12 of their 16 games, they've allowed 100 yards rushing. Tennessee, when they rush for 100 yards, considering how stubborn a rushing team this is, when Tennessee runs collectively as a team for more than 100 yards, they're 6-0 this year, guys. So, another matchup that favors Tennessee. With all of this being said, I still have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game. Unfortunately. 23-20. It's going to be a much closer game than people think. I've seen some predictions way out there. We're talking like 34-10 over Tennessee. I saw a couple of predictions like that the other day, and I'm just like, hold up, ladies and gentlemen. First, it's not. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I was wrong against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's an offensive juggernaut right here. It's not like the Chiefs are an offensive juggernaut. I know they had one of the most efficient offenses in the league and one of the best offenses in the league, but it can be contained. The Kansas City Chiefs are a good football team. Tennessee has improved vastly on defense. But if Tennessee is going to win this game, they got to stop Kareem Hunt. They have to emphasize stopping Kareem Hunt and forcing Alex Smith to throw the ball. Because I think that Adoree Jackson I think he could cover Tyreek Hill. Because Adoree Jackson has been solid this year for Tennessee. A lot better than I thought he would be. And he is one of the fastest cornerbacks that came out of the draft. I think he could stick with Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce is going to be a problem for us. Hopefully Kevin Byard can come down and make sure to contain him. But still, happy I made the playoffs. But Kansas City should win this game 23-20. But I got my eye open. I'm very optimistic. Next game, the later game, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Los Angeles Rams. This is an interesting game. This is a game with youth versus experience. And the youth has the much better football team right now than the experienced one. Atlanta, it's not like in their wins they have been impressive either. The Falcons have been Tennessee-like in squeaking by with some of their victories. They barely beat the Bucks. They barely beat the Seahawks. They almost barely beat the Panthers this last week. This is a team that it's kind of not looked terribly impressive. They do get a chance to defend their title, and the fact that they're in the playoffs again with the experience that they have as a head coaching staff, quarterback, all around the ball is huge, and that experience is going to be a major advantage over the Los Angeles Rams. But the Rams are a juggernaut. Aside from them benching their Week 17 players, this is a team that has come out of nowhere this season to be one of the most efficient offenses in the league. Todd Gurley he's not a beast. He's a legitimate weapon in the backfield. And it's unbelievable what did I say Le'Veon Bell? I meant Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley has been a complete weapon in this backfield. And honestly, I think the Los Angeles Rams here, I think they're going to get the win. But I look forward to watching this game. It should be a very good game. It's going to be a close one. We're going to go Los Angeles 29, Atlanta 26. It's going to be a close game. It might go into overtime. I think youth trumps experience here. You're starting to see a shift in the league. It's not about passing the ball anymore. 9 of the top 10 teams in terms of running the football are in the playoffs this year. 9 out of 10. And defenses in the league are in the playoffs this year. Teams that are running the ball, the league is shifting. It's about running the football now. My lips are starting to lag. So, that being said, I think the Rams have the better rushing attack, and the Rams should get the win here at home. Now, tomorrow, we have the damn Buffalo Bills in the playoffs for the first time since 1999. Wow. They get the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I got a prediction for you. If LeSean McCoy plays, the Buffalo Bills win this game. Because Tennessee, twice now, has put out the blueprint how to beat this team. You stubbornly run the football. Don't even worry about passing it. Mariota completed 12 passes in that game against the Jags. 12. That's it. 12 of 21 passing for like 130 yards he went. And guess what? Aside from the fumble that led to the Jacksonville touchdown, Tennessee was up 15-3, and they were in position to score again. This was a Titans team in position to have an 18-3 or a 22-3 lead against the Jags. Why? Because Derrick Henry and Marcus Mariota had like 38 combined rushing attempts between the two of them. Just stubbornly stuff the ball down the Jaguars' throat. Don't let these defensive backs get chances to make plays. That is how you beat the Jags. I have stated this in previous videos many times. If you force Blake Bortles to throw the ball in the fourth quarter, he's going to make mistakes. The Bills don't have a bad defense whatsoever. They have a pretty good defense. And I think the Bills can win this game with as long as LeSean McCoy plays. If he doesn't play, it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think, and I still might be tempted to pick the Bills in an upset. But I gotta go with Jacksonville if LeSean McCoy does not play, only because that defense, you can't ignore it. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. If LeSean McCoy plays, I say Buffalo wins this game 17-13. If LeSean McCoy misses this game, the Jaguars win the same score flipped, 17-13. Last but not least, we have the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. The third matchup between these two teams, and let me tell you, each of the last 2 times these two teams have met up, the Panthers have failed to show up. And the Panthers looked like complete crap. Does that happen a third time? Let me ask you this, okay? How often do teams in the playoffs beat the same team 3 times in a row if they're a division rival? It doesn't happen too often. Carolina, yeah, they went 11-5. If they lose this game to go to 11-6 and complete and end their playoff run, half of their losses are going to be to one football team. Do you see that happening? I do. Only because, and yeah, I'm picking the Saints here. Only because the Panthers haven't showed me anything to prove that they could stop this New Orleans Saints team. And they had one chance to adjust, and they still got crushed. So I think the Saints get the win here. The Saints have one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL right now. And I tell you what, if the Rams win, if this New Orleans Saints team takes this team to Philadelphia next week, with Nick Foles starting at quarterback. My preseason prediction might come to fruition. I made a prediction, a very confident prediction, even though it was for the wrong reasons. I said it would be because of Adrian Peterson. Maya was off on that. But as a team prediction, I nailed it. I said the Saints coming into the season were going to be 11-5 or 10-6, and they were going to be in the playoffs and maybe make it to. I said they would win a playoff game, and I said they might make it to the conference championship game. So I'm gonna stick with the Saints here because I am confident in this one. Saints should get the win. Hopefully it's competitive. We'll make it competitive. 31-24, the Saints win over the Panthers. The Panthers offense decides to show up. But yeah, those are my picks. Tomorrow is at 4:30. I'm going to be home with a beer in my hand watching some Tennessee playoff football, and that's all I care about. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time.